It's like, it was really getting late. Really, really getting late last night. But welcome back to the Great State Detective Chronicles. Part 6. I'm gonna have to fix that later. Last time we started case 3. We're about near the end, actually. So much for to be continued on this. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. Also, before I start, I want to go and say I did notice a downvote, a thumbs down, or a dislike. I have no qualms, but because I don't do things, I don't do these videos to get attention or just to be try to make myself look famous or anything like that. I'm just doing these Let's Plays for fun, but I really don't need that at the moment, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. But come on, guys, that's not called for it. I'm just gonna say that as nicely as possible. And if it was about one of the Mr. Barak's lines, and sorry, I really am gonna try my hardest not to say that word, but that's not what's intended to be said. But instead, let's get started with the defendant. Show the defendant, please. To the stand at once. Now, maybe exactly. I'll be right back. It will become very clear. Here. Let's proceedings be resumed. Mr. McLeod, and have you been listening to the disclosure today? To be sure, I have, my lord. These two are now matter. There are now two matters the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether there was a third party with you on the ominous cabinet, or proposed by the defense. And the second is the sufficient question. Why did you conceal that fact from the police? God, no, that's not my true nature of hiding anything at all. Just answer the questions, please. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this. Do I tell you all to keep my mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. McLeod? The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage tonight, myself and the other man, there was another passenger. Is that true? Was me who helped the little urchin get away after all. You... what? Oh boy. Even he... No, my Miss McLeod, that could be itself can't sleep it now. I'm truly sorry. I am responsible for his aches. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken by the police. I do have a very good reason, I assure you. Which was, well, the little child was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and not in any way involved, you see. What? The police had known that the weed was there. They had assumed that she'd done it. They'd have hauled her here into the courtroom, just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts, young minds are easily damaged, my lord. And who was this young child who you speak? That I don't know. You don't know? T was a young thing. Well, the young thing happened in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since.
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for the witness statement to be discarded by the court. I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in the courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. What? Fine. What's going on? Be careful, Laura. Cover your face. Ayla, don't let the accused escape. Security neighbors. I recall from an emergency recess. Bailiff, ensure that the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom. Oh, there would be to continue. We hurriedly moved from the back, and aimed sense of chaos. The people stumbled over one another and their desperate flee of the chamber. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that the time being, at least, the trial was suspended. I did not know that. I did not know this would become a to be continued. If I'd known that, I would have done that and saved it afterwards. But we're facing this case today, and depending how long this how part 2 is, trial part 3 is, we are going to we'll do a new video next chapter, from the next chapter. 12:52 p.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. What on earth just happened in there? Mr. Naruto, I managed to find out what happened. Mr. Naruto, I was told by advance that that was a smoke grenade from a type of exploding device that releases smoke. A smoke grenade. It sounds like some sort of a ninja use. They're just making sure that everyone is safe now. I think the trial will begin before long. But who would have done something like that? The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. Flee the courtroom? Why? Well, it was a young girl in her around 15. There's the girl! A young girl. Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGlade was talking about? Maybe my thoughts exactly. So he wasn't lying. Oh, what became of Mr. McGlade actually? There was so many things I needed to ask him about, but he's not here. I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions, along with the young girl. Who is she, I wonder? And what was she doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk and was about to for what possible benefit to herself? There's another matter that's troubling me. What's that? The 20 pence. Was it originally 4 pits and not 20? According to the coachman, Mr. Bebo, he took 4 passengers the night of the fair of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence each. Was he actually giving them 4 pence each, and then that's what I have to say. It's either that or she was already a passenger before the whole ride happened. But now it seems there were 5 passengers, which means the figures don't add up again. She's right. That's strange. Counsel, the defense kindly proceeds to the courtroom. Trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. Oh, go straight away. Well, wherever she is, I imagine the young girl will be asked to take the stand to testify now. I can really imagine what she's going to say. But after her whole distraction in the trial, we'll know soon enough, Mrs. Otto. Mrs. Otto, yes. February 1 p.m. Wow, that took 50 minutes. That took 40 minutes. Yeah, there's a young lady next to me, Mr. Goliath. Look, she must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. Well, afraid after the events of the court, you will resume now. Trial, Mr. Goliath. Now then, Lord Von Zeit, my lord, yes. Do you believe the established cause of smoke veil of your feet earlier? It's as if it had been advanced from a smoke grenade, in a sort typical employed by the army. But gracious, the army? What the devil's name? It was an elaborate attempt by the young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught. And now occupies the stand. Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the small razor which introduced the firm from patrimony in my court? What's the meaning of the language? If I may, my lord. Yes, most neglected. I think it's perhaps odd to explain here. Why is we last here was here in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that? It is all tied up in the current events of that night, so it is. Very well, Mr. McGlide, give your testimony. Will you explain to the court exactly how this young woman evolved in this case? So what did happen that night? It's not like the defense lawyer needs that information or anything. The young girl. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the ambulance and promptly nodded off. Then Barag loud and a wee scream woke me up in the fair night. Sorry. There was a fellow collapse on the flight, and so I saw him across the seat from me. I turned around, and that scream I had heard from my blessed soul. What did I find? There was a child there, all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away. I remained somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gathered on the night of questioning, the young girl was indeed riding on the ambulance, was correct, and the bus, was correct. Exactly as the defense counsel said. The last was the 5th passenger, my lord. Alright. Here comes the objection. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Are you ready, counsel? Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. It looks like Von Zykes is also kind of agreeing. He has no idea what's going on either, from the looks of it. Yeah. You were the first to go on the omnibus. Were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was empty, and there was no one on the roof deck either. You were the first passenger, as you were. I see. And that's why I took the back seat, as I did. Tis most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain exactly what you mean by back seat? By all means. You already know how to describe it earlier. I was taking the opposite seat in which the poor gentleman who was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, tis was comfortable, so where I feel the most peace. And of course, I enjoyed gazing the skylight at the time as well. Hold it! A loud thud, you say, and a scream. Right, that's right. How can I explain it? This was the sound of something falling to the ground. That sort of noise. You think the sound of my son falling to the ground would have been stopped? Well, now you'll remember I was asleep at the time. I wouldn't like to say that. When the sound woke me up, I opened my eyes. There wasn't a soul in the carriage, but a fellow in the floor. You didn't say anyone. At some point, did you hear a scream? From the seats above you, on the roof deck, I presume. Not above me, my lord. Twiz was in the inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was stunned by the desperate sight of the before my eyes. The murder. There was a fellow collapsed on the floor on the seat next to me. I sat on the seat across from me. Hold it! You sat up, the victim, you mean? Yes, I did. On the seat in front of me, as I said, I could possibly plainly see the poor devil was already gone. As you would have leave a dead man lying on the floor, would you? No. A common courtesy, it's common courtesy. No, it's not. That's actually, tampering with evidence, dude. I find that a little hard to believe. Why would that be? You woke at the moment the light. A normal person would have held a cabinet. Not what a person would have held a cabinet. Any member of the London Society, that is. He has a point. Well, now, as you know, in something little special line of business, I'm in the business of lending money and absorbing the rate and interest. Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them. And some even would be dead. Some would even be dead. See me dead. So I try rather, where at all possible, to avoid getting myself tangled with trouble. Oh, the irony! Are you suggesting you were trying to leave the man there? Heavens, no. I was like, no. I was already attending the report, so I was. Only I had a mind to find the only way. Wise the where first. Wise and wherefore. First. Right, you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got the memo. That scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self do that same? Yes. That scream he heard at the same time as the thud of the victim collapsing. As I turned to find where the scream came from, and bless my soul, where did I find? What did I find? I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure that you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except for yourself and the victim. I did, sir. So I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well, now, tis queer. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. If I did say that, I'm sorry. I don't know why they wrote that like that. The wee scream I heard woke as I woke up. It came from, you'll excuse the vulgar, under me backside. Good gracious. On your backside? And from when I lifted the seat, I was sitting there. I found the cubby hole for the storage. Or cover. That's alright. Could you examine the... I'll do that right now. He said he was on the other... This is the seat responsible soft, rather you sit on. Not only wide enough for a gentleman to sit on, really. Of course, an English gentlewoman would dress in such finery. It would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the roof deck, so she would have been seated here. A woman in a kimono would have the same problem as a woman clothes. Are very impractical, aren't they? Hello. This seat handle, it seems. There we go. This is a storage compartment, but there's nothing here. It's so empty. Something doesn't seem right here. I can't put my finger on it. What is it? Hello? That's it. That's blood, isn't it? Something's wrong? Oh, it's just, well, the blood stain is so obvious, that's all. And yet, Von Zeiss made no mention of it. I suppose it does find a little strange. Why does I have such a bad feeling about this? Joan. Okay, let's try not looking at it again. If it doesn't work like that. There has to be something in there I'm missing. Let's see. Reading the pencil, and yet I find myself stunned as everyone else in this as, let's say it's trying. It's only had precise little time to talk to Miss Nicola before tile. Much of this We arrived in London this morning. I don't see any they panning out of that. No grumbling. What did I know? Alright, I gotta cross that last statement because I...
Hold it!
You say she was hiding herself in there. Aye, that's right. Tuz was hard to see a dim lamplight, but she was curled up in a wee ball when our meet. Well, my heart nearly stopped beating. You're really overreacting to this. Still and all, I put her out and under there. From under. I sat on a seat across from her. I would have chin wag with her. The seat opposite. That's right, the next to the window. You said the young girl was a corpse. What's next to them? Oh, I'm sure I mentioned it. A gentleman was posing out position can often find himself in moral danger. So I need to just find a I heard another scream, a fellow's voice at this time. Presumably, that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the rooftop. Right again, I would say, sir. Looking down the skylight, he must have seen the young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belt. In other words, the previous witness did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McLeod. But they hardly believe yourself that the victim was the fact that, and in fact this girl. Aye, my lord. I think everyone I understand now. I sat back, so it was out of sight. But there is one massive problem there. I thought it's plausible. The defense somehow dismantled this statue is ready to come and readily give you. After that, of course. Well, the scream came from the gentleman over us, and the driver realized something was wrong and pulled over the horse. Thank you, I've heard enough. The events explained clear as my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is this girl? Her name is Gina Larkstead Lestard, my lord. She was a chancer. She's a chancer. Her earns her crust amongst large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What common people call a what? This girl here. Oh, that would explain a lot of things. Order. Is this true, Miss Lestard? You answered the question. Oh. How dare you? What's the meaning of this? Oh, there we go. She's gone. Open your eyes. Over here. Good gracious, how? What was the point of that little sidestep? I know what you're lot thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. Dirty little diver. Okay, I'm not gonna say majority of her lines. Dirty little. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. Got herself backed into a corner, so tonight. Go on, that's. Oh, not at all. This court of law work. What a colorful bunch, am I right, folks? No pun intended. Ugh. Look, knives are cowards. Things use weapons like that. All I need is some fingers. guess. You didn't count the smoke grenade amongst things. Oh yeah, this was in the bag I left it from the other day. Hey, we're keeping a four-wheel drives. Nice in it. It's nice, isn't it? In it, isn't it? Should be. I like the pink, the best. Oh, do not have that thing in my direction again. So, you admit you were riding on the omnibus on the night of question. It's alright, guys. You can tell on the now. Alright, yeah, I was on it. That's what the Irishman said. Carter accepts this girl as a valid and significant witness in the case. According to young man and young lady, we will now hear, please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus tonight in question. Alright, if I have to. What the girl saw. I snuck outside the carriage before they were looking up. Okay. It was an old waste of time. I got nothing to show for troubles. What's that like? I tell you, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitched in there. After a while, I heard a large bang nearby, stumbled upon, jumping out of the scheme, and and just came out. That's because of all. Oh boy. Yes, he let you go. I don't understand. Why would you let us? Oh, it is a simple explanation, my lord. You see, she probably could have been killed the other passengers. I knew that for a fact. How? Oh, I am sure I said it before, sir. I was sitting on the top of the piece where she was hiding herself. I think a demonstration is called for. This is where I was sitting last night. The cubbyhole. And the cubbyhole is what's spoken is under me. You see, Epperson. Okay, something's odd. Yes, it does appear large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature. I have a thinking suspicion that's not the case. But of course, the wee lass was stuck in there because I parked myself on the seat for the duration. You see why I let the lass bolt. I knew that if the police found her, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live myself if a young girl was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent. Even if you must have realized your actions would result in your own innocence being called for question. Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my heart I was innocent. Oh, I thought it was worth trying my own good for the namesake of a last. Oh, my goodness. A perfect gentleman. My lord, this is a fine example. It cannot possibly be. Oh boy. Yeah, boy. Let's calm, calculate reason. We arrived clearly the truth at the time. But there is one problem. Even if we get it, we still have one little problem. Who did a set? Seems why? Services members because we're not guilty. I have a feeling there's something coming up. Unless I know about this. Well, I mean what? I just mentioned that we are grateful. We won. Are we sure?
Objection!
Even he admits it, isn't. It's a side of iron healed. Well, and right. Oh boy. There were evidence reasoning should paramount emotion the rule of the day. Emotion. The witness's last statement had given clearer insight into her true nature. What do you mean his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard were made such glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by the office of the police. Obviously, the interior of the Capitol, as the witness put it, it was included in the investigation. The compartment under the pilot seat was full of the coachman's belongings. And noted the black and white here in the police report. Good lord. There is evidence that the evidence was tampered with. And in order to someone was unlawfully removed everything from underneath the sink. Oh boy. What on? How could such a deliberate and possibility have infected the council? Naturally, we must acknowledge the defiance of the constable in allowing to happen. However, I assure you, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, not me. When the carriage was suspended to evidence, doubtless you examined its fine interior. Would any self-reasoning particularly? Pray, what did you find in it? Oh, be sure the young gentleman will be able to clear. Sorry. Go ahead. Tell me the court what it fellows. How is this a ruse? Be just. Well, counsel, do you have anything to say in the matter? How am I supposed to answer? What did I say about the state of the little compartment? It was empty. Yes. I'm fairly sure it was empty. And honestly, my memory about the little fuzz hazy. As I suspected. It seems more like that the Esther. Yeah, something is not right. Should. Care. The compartment is designed to house equipment and maintain a smooth running of the carriage. The guild's rules state that omnibuses should be properly fully equipped at all times. So certainly it wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Your boss isn't that irresponsible. The money. Oh boy. I figured. Oh. I believe I'm irritating them. What? Oh no. Alright, so I can go here. This is not good. I don't know. The verdict is not guilty. What at this time would be worth it? Thank you, counsel. However, there's a matter of an outstanding question. Counsel, for the defense, I beg your questioning the witnesses, please. Yes, my lord. What happened? The whole balance of the trial shifted almost beyond recognition. Roberta Bailey is at work, it would seem. So, you were already on the omnibus before you even set off to run. Well, yeah, I mean, what's the point of spending a Joey to make a huge block of A? That's a run idea. I suppose she has a point there. Spending to make money, it actually makes sense. Counsel, may I remind you the girl is a petty thief? Like, never from her retaining her. Well, that's not sort of fair at all. Red con. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. That driver always goes for some grub before the last one. See, so that's when I'm slipped into the carrots myself, hidden under the seat, nice and easy, right? By hiding yourself in the source compartment, slowly, you know. There's bruises and buckets and whatnot in there, sure. I always chuck all that out and cram into a corner somewhere. No one even seemed to bother much. And yet, according to the report filed by the police officers who were first arrived at the scene, the compartment was full of paraphernalia. Well, I don't know nothing about that. Like I said, want to read another line of that before I continue. Well, that's the time. I got nothing to show for my troubles. Hold it! Waste of time. Why is that? Well, most of the nights I'm in on my own, on God permit at least that time. I beg your pardon, did you say God permit? Well, why not? Well, that's what my kind called it. You remember the omnibus, I suppose? The point is, any normal run in a carriage ain't got one in a walk for a while. That's when you came out of your hiding place and get away. That's it. On that night. This cove was on my seat from the start. And they done nothing but the whole way. I can barely read that. Do you mean to tell us that you were present in the carriage for the duration? You were under the seat the entire time while events unfolded in the enclosed cavern? Yeah. Right, mister. To be sure, I was shocked, as anyone. You didn't expect to lift the cushion you'd be seen in front of a child, do you? Well, this mesmerism couldn't possibly be the birthday. I'll tell you, you couldn't see a blind thing hidden in that hiding place. I pitched it. It's pitching there. So you couldn't see out of the cabin at all? Not a job. Most days I push. But okay, I couldn't even read most of that. There I can aim a butcher at who I'm gonna fill. I thought you were pickpocketing, not a butcher. I mean, can I look? A seat under ain't so plush as the other one put. See, most of the time the passengers plant themselves opposite. But for some reason that night, the whole journey right above me and for reasons you weren't able to push the cushion up to see. I see. Truth is, I ain't happy in a small dark places, feeling too much like being thrown in the clink. But the only place to the item in the carriage is so Son's choice. Why does she stick the picking people's pockets in the open thing? I say there's some reason that she's not letting on, judging from her demeanor. So anyway, I'm scared, but I had to stick around under there. Nothing else for it. Then after a while, I heard Lord Bang nearly jumped out of my skin, and I did. And the scream came out. Oh, the scream. When you say you heard a loud bang, what do you mean by a noise? Something like I felt before. Could have been, I suppose. I don't remember so well. Point is, it made me jump. You let out a scream involuntarily. That's right. Then I felt the cushion on my head get lighter all of a sudden. Presumably the defendant grabbed in order to help the victim, yes. Or not. It could have the moment the accused stood in order to stab him. Oh. You see, at the crucial moment, well, I saw it. No question. Irishman sitting at a boat and fallen on the floor opposite me. That just means it's counter kind of course. But then suddenly it turns out that I was looking right at me. I saw back down again, but it was too late. I should have risked looking. It's because of this. The swallow found me. It ended me up on my mind. And when it discovered you, he pulled you from your hiding place. I was scared. If I was scared, when you sat me down, I see this. You're next to the victim. Yeah, that blow, and I got still bleeding. Both me and covered in blood, it made me feel sick like a dog. Both our hands were covered in blood. Must have been the rooftop passage. Did I not check everything on here? I believe you talked to the glider for a while, is that correct? He asked me some stuff. I wanted to know my name and what wasn't up for that. Then I heard something above, someone scream. Ah, Mr. Frost from the upper deck, I presume. Oh, I didn't want to see them see me, so I looked up and looked up. Get back into the seat. I'll see what you can get on later. All 6 members of the jury have decided the victim was innocent. For one brief moment, yes. It's clear they're all unsure. Just find some conclusive piece of evidence amongst the New Testament. Sure, glanced over. Something's bothering me, but I just can't quite put my finger on it. So you couldn't see out of the cabin at all? I thought you were... some reason you were able to push cushions, see? This, I ain't happy in a small dark place.
Well, now. Excuse me.
There we go. Is something wrong, Mr. McGlidden? Oh, I do apologize. Was there something the matter, Council? I was wondering if Mr. Larson's last comment occurred to you, perhaps. You seem to thinking of something to yourself. Oh, no. Thus was nothing important. I was feeling bad for the last last. I remember feeling desperate as a young man myself, shot in the dark, terribly sorry. I see. Yes, I'm sure we can all sympathize. I'm scared of the dark now. I don't know about yourself, but I find the darkness seems to make everything you hear seem much louder as well. Yeah, I suppose it does, maybe. Miss Larson, did you hear something that night? Anything unusual noise, perhaps? No, not really. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. There's no need to tell the whole world of me. What a pity. If only Mrs. Lawson had heard something, I might give him the final clue. Yes. What should I make this? Lord, I really think when witness is personally important. Or what she said. What she said, no. Yes, this was really important. I'm sure of it. I almost understand the intent works of your Eastern mind. Also, nothing less. Good.
Hold it!
You were straining to hear what was happening at the entire time since the moment you hid yourself. Not exactly, no. Sorry. Well, there's one thing that got me to start on my... I couldn't push myself on a cushion much. But then I saw the swallow go again and again. I got me head down so I didn't notice me. Mr. McGlide did say sat on the... Were you hiding, correct? Yeah. What do you mean, then? I mean, I couldn't do this. I was waiting to jump out, and I heard him leave, see? But we're not likely. So I just put Lois on driving. Okay. Are there any conclusions to draw from, I wonder? Doesn't add up. Ms. Landon, what did you just tell the court? Clearly at odds with the facts, huh? Odds? Well, are you sure, Rich? Absolutely. It seems as dull-witted as I've learned, as I fear. He knew. He knew it well. Counsel. Oh. I may insist that your boasting claims means your claim with evidence that may conflict the party's name at very least. Yes, my lord. According to Miss Lesser, she was hiding in the omnibus that night. She heard nothing but the sounds of Miss McLeod snoring. But think, think. There's something else she should have heard. Very well, my lord. I will elaborate. On a particular night, Mrs. could not have failed to hear the night in question. That sound very explained the presence of the fallen person.
Take that!
Professor Mason. Yes, my lord. The sound that Mrs. Lawson could not have failed to hear. Is the victim as of being boarding the omnibus. Explain your reason, counsel. Miss Lawson, allow me to confirm something. You claimed earlier that you were the first person on the board of the omnibus. That's correct. Yeah, the council. Yes, of course, and the next person on the board, was Mr. McLeod, right? That was not a soul in the cabinet when I climbed the board, at least on plain sight. So you were intent on purpose alone to close cabinet on the omnibus at the time. Did I not just say as much? I wasn't traveling with anyone else. Is that what you mean? Yeah, I saw him get on. I remember there were cracking in these cushions. He was on his own, I'm sure. And from what we've heard, the carriage made numerous stops after that, onwards and return. During which time you did not hear the opening or closing howl. No, I never heard it. That's exactly what I was listening for, Margaret. Waiting for her to swallow the lead. And in that case, how did the victim end up in the carriage? We know the victim collapsed inside the enclosed cavern of the omnibus. Therefore, Miss Longstead's statement about what she said did not hear is odds with the facts. Yes, the Spade Feet statement was clearly flawed. Lord Von Zakes? Yes. He knew all along too well that there was inconsistency with Miss Long's statement. What are you talking about? Oh boy. I didn't even say anything. I didn't want to judge dear little mint, but because she's rather naughty ways, I must say, I cannot buy letters. Believe it or not, I don't want to be judged of the girl just because she has some less common ways, but I must say, I cannot buy That's 5 turrets leaning towards guilty. as the witness last statement made. Because his answer, however, if we consider the possibility that such statement is in fact the truth, then why are you saying? Counsel, I'm sorry, sir. Whatever you mean. Right. Explain yourself once. Where the accused boarded beyond the bus, the fact that the victim was nowhere to be seen. Subsequently, the carriage door might not have been a single time. That's why it's scanned. Yet the victim's blood were inside the cab. If we were to believe, explain the victim's malicious appearance inside the cab now. The only place I explained the victim came from inside the cab. Yeah, there's another entrance. After the door wasn't opened even once, the only place the victim entered through the
Objection!
way. Hey. I wonder if there's an fantasy we call a blind panic. But all of us see. The other side and close of the other window. But the fixed windows that come also.
Objection!
But there could be. There's one possibility you haven't considered. Well, really? Yes. The other way inside the door is the opening in which allows the victim to appear in an enclosed cavern. Alright, counsel. Defense will then find the location of the court. It has to be the skylight. It has to be, because that's the only thing I can think of.
Take that!
The answer is obviously... Oh, I see. The skylight. Wait.
Objection!
Wait. You're just...
Objection!
The skylight may be large for someone to pass through.
Objection!
So you claim. Do you have evidence to support it? But Mr. Blaine and Mrs. Lane said the same thing in their testament. They each claimed a loud thud made noise following. Yes, which has already been explained. The obvious victim falling from the seat may have been a result of... Yeah, it was, but... Would the man slip in a... But... Perhaps, in fact, there was a moment the victim made his entrance into the cabin. No, let's rephrase that. That didn't enter the cabin as such. You still hurt. You are now suggesting that the victim fell from the skylight in the cabin? That's simply impossible. Oh, you can be sure, because the victim would have fallen through the skylight, say. Crossovers on the roof would have been seen at that. And yet, that one person mentioned... oh, yes, that's true, but... I might humble a fellow, make a wee comment here, unless I might have glided. To be sure now, the two fellows were sat on the roof that testified before. Said nothing about the victim falling through the skylight, but it seems, my lord, that this is not such a case of a saying, not saying but. In this case of them being unable to say. What? I think perhaps the two fellows do have something, the compelling reason not to mention it. Won't you agree, ladies and gentlemen? Agree? What? Oh my goodness, certainly not. those two chops on the roof? You mean the ones who stuck the knife? Where? Ah. Oh boy. What? Just exactly what you... Okay, I'm not gonna say that. He gives me a say gentleman, a well-respected banker, and me a very large angry hatter, suggesting that someone like me could have stabbed the man in the gut. It's a disgrace, a scandalous. I protest the strongest. That's right, I protest too. Oh, well, time to hear from these two. That is no time to wait, witnesses. I will not permit any return your exchange. But this is not reason, my lord. It's outrageous. It's very harmful, you know. My lord, if I may comment. But it's... you, I never did. It seems, you you're... I know I was rash, but forward without any effort. You can't dismiss without a second thought. Efficient about that from the moment I laid eyes on the bell. I don't know. Is there a fifth rubbish in our midst? We must dispose of one. What's happening? The speculators at the galley they're completely frenzied. Mr. Fairplay, Mr. Frost, my lord, you will take the stand and make another formal testament in reference to the incrimination brought to the by the defense. Yes, my lord. I didn't come here for this. There's no time to think through. All I can do is keep pushing forward. Refuting these accusations. We were the only two people on the roof, dead or alive. I swear that if anything happened, we're sitting. Don't you think we would notice? In any case, neither of us knew about the victim. First thing about the victim, we had no reason to kill him. The skylight was shut at the time. I tell you, I could not possibly have opened it. If you're sure the victim fell the skylight, where's your proof? Point taken. It is somewhat hard to imagine. Nosing on the fourth wall. That's right. You see? Where is it? I tell you. Although logically, of course, the argument falls down to if you two were concluded in the conclusion. What? That? According to the investigation of Scotland Yard. Right. The two witnesses share no common dealings. Huh. Well, I don't trust coppers any more than I trust this rich. Something doesn't feel right here. The trial's going in our favor, really? So, why do I feel so uneasy? Counsel for the defense is over to you. Your cross-examination, please. Oh, yes, my lord. So, you have never met Mr. Dwight Mason before? No, not once, never. We've never met him before, he said, never. And you, Mr. Press, you had no prior dealings with the victim either? No, sir, he had nothing to do with the brass makers, perfectly honest, sir. No, I imagine not. You see, how did the other of us are hosting?
Well, no. Excuse me.
Here we go. Mr. McGlide. Yes, counsel, what I do and what about you? Did the witness' last statement give you a pause for thought somehow? Not the most connection. Is that right, I wonder? What are you insinuating now? Mr. Fairplay, test has been too long, so has it? I wouldn't be so mistaken. I believe 'tis fast approaching, is it not, your repayment date? I beg your pardon? You borrowed 20 guineas from me. An uncommonable rate of interest. You tricked me. It's extortion. Well now, isn't it touch? Beggar. I can't even pronounce that. So, that might have fell past his crime call for another. And young Frost. We, sir? What do you mean, sir? You're be mistaken for me having for a living, don't you not? That there top hat sliding on your head, is that what your own creation, is it? Well, it's still appropriate apprentice. I'm still just an apprentice, you understand. I'm learning from the perfect fit for a fit. A fine gent walks out through the door. Perfect fit it is. Well, 'tis very well distinctive design it is. Many customers like it. I tell you that it is like a distinctive touch. Customers. Such as Mr. Mason. There was a photographic print of the victim submitted, therefore evidence, my lord. Yes, you mean this. I can't help but think the poor fellow's hat looks distinctly familiar. I couldn't yet say. Yep, I see the similarities too. His hat. That's one of my hats. Ain't it is. So, be a blackmailer, a very customer of yours. That sort of customer, I wager, you could have had a quarrel with over distinctive goods. But, oh no, sir, absolutely not, sir. Then why are you shaking like heck? There's really nothing more to add. I wouldn't be right to say the two fellows haven't mostly connection to the victim, see? I rest my case. You little weasel. He's better at this than I am. Gosh, Mr. Gladue certainly has all his thoughts in his research, hasn't he? Please don't let me interrupt him. And we got the hat hunter trophy. So the skylight shut the entire time. I tell you, we couldn't possibly have opened it. Are you quite certain about that? That skylight was shut the entire time. I'm going to lose my blockmate with you in a minute. He's going to lose his mandatory mode. What? That's what he said. Take a look for yourself. Go on. Of course, the fellow's size makes him what? Take a look size of the thing, you understand? Ah, no, hold on a minute, sir. The size of the thing means nothing. It's all, because there's a bigger picture here, so let's stop being riding things, shall we? I was riding the omnibus on another occasion, when I broke the wind loudly. I shook myself when it happened. This is not expected confession. Okay, TMI, Mr. Frost. Oh, I just mean to say, well, the point is, I tried opening the skylight, you see. But just my luck, I couldn't make it budge. The stench was terrible. Anybody who looked at daggers at the... Bro. Are you expecting me to see me to send with you? Oh no, sir. The point here is open.
Wait, that. Excuse me.
Hold on. Do you have something to say about that, Miss Landstead? Miss Landstead. It's open. It opens. Huh? The skylight. This is what you were talking about, right? All of them. The skylight opens dead easily. More exactly than you leave the weapon. That's a lie. I like you. Otherwise, when I broke one eye... You can't do it from the inside, Mr. Mugg. Oh! Look, a few weeks ago, I was up on the roof on one of them threads. As long as this is not the form of an adult subject equivalent. Well, anyway, I had a bit of a scare. When I lifted the last blow first, you got wise with me. All four of them surrounded me, and I couldn't get off the bus and leg it. So what I did was use the skylight, open the catch quickly, and jumped around right through. What? Yeah, the catch from the skylight is on the top side. That's why you can't open it from the cabin. That skylight opens from the rooftop. Hey, look. Climb on top of the roof around us once and verify the witness claim. There we go. Oh, why not? See? So apparently the street girl's statement's quite true. I don't believe it. The skylight opened and from the roof deck. There's another. Could there be clue? This could be a clue we're looking for. Well, counsel, defense, please continue at cross-examination. Oh yes, my lord. So the skylight opens. Perhaps I should investigate it myself. Let's check that out. Should be able to open it. Let's do this. Has to be something to... Why is this thing not Why is this thing having trouble? There! Okay, how much? There's something of... There we go. Yes, that's open very wide, isn't it? Wide enough to kick someone through, certainly. Why does it sound so... Ah! What is it? Look, there! Look at it. That, without a question. That's without a question. Blood. It's blood. Why would there be blood stained there? Surely. It's unrelated to the case. It can't be unrelated to the case. I can't. There we go. Here we got the evidence we need for it.
Objection!
On the night of the question, the victim was fatally stabbed in the stomach. Immediately afterwards, the victim's body was plunged through the silent below. There are facts and irrefutable proof. remain the clear, visible, ominous stand before us today in this courtroom. What? That's only humbug. You can't possibly happen yet. Yo, you can't. I mean, did we need to tell you? Irrefutable proof here in this court. Sounds like. Yeah, yes, my lord. Where exactly is the omnibus for?
Got it!
By Jupiter, it's that blood. Ah, the bloodstain proves two things. Firstly, when the incident occurred, the skylight of ambulance was open. What? And secondly, the victim was already bleeding when he fell through the opening. Oh my. And it follows that Mr. McGlidden, who was inside the enclosed cabinet at the time, could not possibly. What?
Hold it!
But the blood could have sprayed up there when the fellow was down inside the cabinet. And only found in the way that particular spot, the skylight. Sure that would have been, would be convenient, very convenient. And left to keep in mind, the skylight catch only be unsatisfied, Myself wouldn't have been able to open it, would it? But. There's no way we would know for certain if the gent really fell from the side island. Why don't we have a good look at the floor of the cabinet between my seat and Mr. Frost? This is too plain, if you see. There's an aftermath shows the poor fellow dropped on the pipes there, so that's it. That is. What? No! What? But that can't be. It's all lies!
Hold it!
Are all jury members? I think we all agree that this is clear proof that the defense is innocent, can't we? There's still something bugs me. And so that they put my house. I will not tolerate any guilt carriage made solely by blood. I won't tolerate. Oh, I always knew a nice gentleman would give us a park couldn't have done such a thing. On 3, 1, 1, 2, 3.
Objection!
Oh boy. Oh boy. A chilling performance, Mr. Blinded. Oh, and what are you referring to now, Mr. Von Sykes? A bloodstained frame on the skylight. Such evidence. It's null and void. What? Why? For one simple reason. That smear of blood never existed. What? What are you talking? It's clearly
Objection!
I presumably attend the Scotland Art investigation on the omniscience. The officers evolved over the carriage with the time to come. So I can state with some certainty. No such smear of blood on the carriage. At least, unlike this trial, until this trial began. But, are you suggesting, Von Sykes, that there's the stained blood was fabricated, my lord? Yes. While this court is... Ah. Okay. What trouble, Oliver? I must say, I didn't expect such crude reasoning from prosecutors. But I'm Magnus McGlidden, fellow all over, capital fine, corporate contribution. I don't take kindly to slander, and I'll fight to the bitter end. Even if it's rolling my tongue off the front of it. Is what I call it? I realize that your first, that this in the first as accused. However, I am very aware of your involvement behind the scenes in mainly affairs of dubious nature. You were rarely adept when it comes to avoiding getting your own hands dirty. And each time it happens, that case you were involved, investigated, you adapt the facts. Adapt the facts, what does that mean to me? When you yield fortune on the side, you've ill-gotten nothing but it's possible. Tampering with evidence, manipulating the scene of the crime, driving witnesses. I toast your ability to hear the story, sir. This I will do not be sure. Will it now, Mr. Oh no. Hey, that does sound like a rather far-fetched excuse to justify a desperate man. The blood on the sky that does and it didn't exist, you say? But if you were to cast your minds back, it's not true that the omnibus there has been in the courtroom the entire time. How could anyone possibly smear the blood without the Walt and his wife seeing? And isn't that right, counsel? Is it true? It's true. The omnibus has been in full view of the time of the courtroom in the session. My learned friend. Here's to hearing your opinion of this matter in your own words. As you wish. The council could someone have tampered with the omnibus? It could have been possible. As a defense lawyer, it's my job to advocate the defendant as best as I can. But still, I feel as there's something more important is at stake here. There is no evidence to suggest that defendants learned our friend has accepted this. However, in terms of having the opportunity to carry out the legend of tampering, there is one possibility. Oh, good gracious. Explain yourselves, counsel. Yes, there is. It seems has no intention of running from his deceit. I'm sure everyone remembers clearly the recess there were forced to take. As a result, the smoke grenade fell by the witness currently was. What's going on? Be careful, Mr. Nardo. Cover your face. Hey, look, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus. I hereby call the bailiff assured the defendant in custody and clear in the courtroom. The courtroom was filled with smoke, and everyone was thrown into confusion. All of us were made to leave this chamber. And in the brief interval, out of the smoke and all the chaos, it could have been possible to steal inside of us. I hate to say it, but that's true. It's true. Are you wise? Yes. Why are you trying to pull? Michael. Oh boy. You're supposed to be defending me.
Objection!
What do you think this is? Charge changes nothing. The factors are the same. After this courtroom was evacuated earlier, as a result of the smoke grenade, A number of inconsistencies materialized in relation to the omnibus. Inconsistencies such as, to start with the storage compartment underneath the passenger seat. But the police investigation of the omnibus, this compartment was full of the driver's items. Secondly, there was a smear of blood on the edge of the skylight. I have said that this was not present at the start of the trial this morning. Unfortunately, one for the sakes, no one was able to corroborate your claim. That's true. When the omnibus was first wheeled out, both the storage compartment and skylight were shut. Accordingly, I'm afraid to say we cannot establish with certainty is this evidence the results of tampering or not. Indeed, my lord, no doubt there was not a single person who saw it fit to verify such things. What do you think? Sorry. About the omnibus. Is there anything unusual about the omnibus? I have an inkling. My lord? Yes, counsel? There is one further inconsistency. A mark that surely could not have been present at the time. What? What in the devil's name are you saying?
Objection!
Silence meant glided. Court awaits the defense clarification. The trial keeps swinging in one way or the other. I have no idea what's the truth and what's deception. What am I supposed to believe here? I still have to elaborate, counsel. Exactly. Now I think about it, I don't think I remember there was being blood on the floor.
Got it!
If we consider the victim fell through the skylight on the floor of the cabin, you wouldn't certainly expect to find signs of blood where he landed. But, as far as I recall, this bloodstain on the cabin floor were not when the omnibus was brought into the courtroom. Good Lord. Yes, I do believe you're correct, counsel. Very well said. Although, as an advocate for the defense, one might say that this is very careless slip of the tongue. That was a very careless. I believe the bloodstain on the floor is a decisive piece of evidence, but in question whether that evidence is genuine or not is unlawfully fabricated by someone. I feel compelled to admit there's at least one possibility that the evidence is fake. Oh boy. Go. This trial is over. That's my gliding. It's done. I've done everything as possible to cooperate with the court, but this is all over now. But you're the defendant. This is it's over, I tell you. Huh? My memory recollection of what people think they saw, that's all nonsense. Facts of what counts, and the facts of bloodstain is there now. Ah, well. And over the course of the desperate trial as long, extremely drawn out as it's been, good for nothing, for the Bailey has failed yet to present any decisive evidence at all. So I am. I thought better of Lord Fox. Well, my lord, I must have concurred with the defendant that the unfirm recollection confirmed cannot stand as evidence. At the moment in time, the particular bloodstain question in the moment's in existence. There are any acts of credibility by which the has proved nonsense existence. I regret to say it's improper for the trial to continue. Your lordship can't be serious. On my side, what is your position? The prosecution, my lord, has no further witnesses or evidence to present. Very well. In that case, as I believe that I explored every possibility in the matter, I shall proceed my adjudication. As formalities, I of course oblige to confirm the defense first. What formality? As things stand in the moment, it would seem that Mr. McGlade would be found not guilty, yes. Which would mean we won. Is that really the right outcome here? Is there really any for the trial to come in now with an unexplained inconsistencies? Counsel for the defense, your closing statement, please. Yes, my lord. I believe. It's a tough. I hate to say it, but he is. As Mr. Blaine legally represented. I can't breathe. There is errors, but I am still a man's defense lawyer. There's only one thing I can say, it's the intuition. I believe the defendant ranks a man is guilty. It can be innocent of that. Thank you, counsel. Here see you. And the most after that closing, I have yet to hear the court in the court law. Order. This guy's just coming. What do you mean? And another closing statement, that was how you put it down. Nothing but more formality. Was evidence genuine or was it fake? His lordship's been feeling in unsigned rubbish should dispose of promptly, I say. This thing is very always good to get. There's something wrong. I didn't believe I'd never doubt the lovely gentleman. Now that proceedings have unfolded this way, I am compelled to declare upon the nature. Furthermore, the court must accept the defendant's plea. I thank you, my kindly, my lord. I hereby announce that.
Objection!
What? yourself and determine the blood stain in the omnibus is genuine or not. We don't even know the witness is telling the truth or path the lie. We have no idea about the truth. Lord my sakes, my lord, the case made by the prosecution was flawed and plain and simple. And indeed, the omnibus presented as evidence was tampered with. The prosecution is at fault for allowing such a disgrace to the prevention of the court to take place. My silence, a serious apology. But wait, what were we evacuated from the courtroom on Zach's order? The evidence to be secured. I'm afraid the prosecution cannot shun responsibilities in this matter. That's unfair. The culpability of the defense has not, at the present time, been established by the court. Consequently, the jury may not be required to perform their further judgment. What? Well, on my sakes, it's been a pleasure, so it is. It's for you, there, Miller. I couldn't have asked for a better defense. This is all a grand waste of time. 'Tis the law of the land, good men. And you prefer to pursue the matter further, you can always go ahead and try. Need to change the law. And it's my beloved. Oh Lord, do you say more, have you? I just one thing, a warning. This is far from over. Well, something to be looking forward to then. So defendant, Magnus McElvin. Oh boy. This is a rough case. I can't believe it. This is outrageous. There should have been a one more on this stuff. What are you talking about? This man's been clear. But the courtroom in the pandemonium for the second time today, the judge delivered his verdict. And my first even trial in Great Britain came to an abrupt end, with the defendant being found not guilty. Options as victory. Simple victory for us. Oh boy. January 18th. And the Old Bailey defendant log amendments and chamber. That certainly was a long trial, you don't say. Yes, it was. For your first ever trial in the foreign soil and your victory, it was a wonderful performance. And my heartfelt congratulations. And thanks to you, Mrs. Zato. And thank you for your assistance. I suppose we should be happy. The trouble is, we're still completely in the dark about what happened. Well, we didn't have enough time. But it's wrong, isn't it wrong? And, I mean, who would actually be responsible for Mr. Mason's nut? We couldn't even know that. The sole aim for the defense is to obtain the verdict that exonerates that defense. You carried your duty to perfection. That you did. Oh boy, you again? Mr. McGillard. I grew up with them too. Well, it seems the fine stories are true. Oh, what stories? About the 6 enormous fireworks. About when the verdict is not guilty. I'm sure you may have seen them now. It's spectacular, shouldn't we say? Yes, definitely. I've heard the sight behold, but sure it was. And I'll thank you, I suppose, for having the opportunity to see. No, I don't have to worry about that. For I'm sure I really didn't did anything. What on earth are you saying, fellows? How do I walk out here a free man then? I don't think that it was so much a thing for me as down to your planning. You're straight talking about. I must say, you led me astray, had me astray, and had and there once or twice. I think this is water on the bridge. Congratulations, Mr. McGillet, on having your name cleared, but nothing's resolved. There's only one thing that matters to me. Oh, they have been, the audience are absent. This grand, is it not? I suppose it is. The fact, the fine fellows of Scotland Yard can now take matters in their own hand of sorts of the any wee details. So see, or what is the truth, they'll get the truth. I've been absolutely faith in them, so I have. I do provide a good number of wages with the taxes I pay. I hate this guy. I've never met a case where I hate a defendant, and probably not since Matt Ongar. That's not funny. Alright, so then. So we read for around 1,000 units, right? No. Think about this stuff that much. Which is you humble ye from the east. Well, if you insist. There you have it, anyway. Deserve a reward. Mr. Magnus? McGilden? Oh boy. Everything is ready, sir. You'll be following me into the courtroom. Into the courtroom. What is this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I like to believe. I suppose it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to put the schedule. Well, I must be out taking time for inspection. Alright, what inspection? They're gonna examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I'm asked if I can pretend present for myself. They're going to examine again now. Naturally, I'm under no obligation to take part in any matter now. As an outstanding member of the London Society, I do. That's where I help I can. That's a gentleman's series, so it is. So then, charity will. Thus, an absolute pleasure in meeting you. Hope ye have a whale of a time studying here in Great Britain. And there he goes, a free man. Oh, I forgot she's here. Oh. Don't move. Get a move on. So I say, I wouldn't mind putting that down. You're grown up. Sorry. And I hate all grown-ups. Yeah, there you are. Nutty, running off like that. Is this some kind of picnic? Oh, it's just a logo. And taking you with us well. Looking forward to the trial run of my experiment with smoke rain launcher. Huh. Oh, you wanna play? You won't beat me. That's only about who are you? Oh, good. Daisy, I'm an inventor, I suppose, of that machine. The inventor? Well, normal smoke erase is dull, don't you agree? Me? White, and more white. Me. You have been surrounded in smoke, at least be pretty colored, I thought myself. Do we have to be surrounded in smoke, though? At all? This look in my eyes. For a moment, listless, I was changed into the different omnibus. I was changing onto a different omnibus as she panicked it. Luckily, I filled the telegraph, filtered in a telegraph beacon. I tell her, what's it? What? I have no idea what she's talking about. Anyway, you're calling me now. Back. No, what? What? To my technician. What do you mean? Say sorry. You must say sorry when you've done something wrong. Surely an adult has told you that before. An adult? Don't listen. I don't listen to adults. Come on then, follow me. Fine, have it your way. Good. You see, I knew you'd be doing the right thing in the end. I'm fairly sure that she wants to get shot by a massive gun of yours. Well, I'll be leaving now then. Bye-bye. I'm sorry for all the fuss. She was a lively one, you don't say. Well, what do you think? Perhaps we ought to be on our way now too? Yes, you're right, but where to? Oh, we haven't the time or place to stay. No sooner we arrived in London, we've had to rush here. All the traveling cases are still with the bailiff. I originally planned to spend today in search of a lodging, but at this late day, I'm afraid we'd be out of luck. Don't worry though, I have a plan. Worst comes to the worst. I've heard of a lovely park where we're going to be spending the night. Please tell me you're not thinking of Magola Park. I know it may be a little later time of the year, but our youthfulness is willing to see us through, but I'm not sure about that. I think midwinter London night is freezing for a young person solid just as easily as an elderly one. Oh dear, that doesn't sound agreeable. Now I'm starting to regret turning Mr. Gell now. The only $1,000 guineas would have paid a lovely warm and... And so, the trial determines of my worthlessness. Our study tour was over by the end of the first day in London. However, as we soon learned, there was more trying times ahead. Just as the Reaper of the Bailey had warned, the case is far from over.
What's going on?
Get the fire brigade! Water! Bring water, quick!
Oh!
What? How did this happen?
I don't know, sir. By the time I got here, it was already engulfed.
No one was supposed to be allowed in here before we started investigating.
Someone was in there!
Oh, good God. There's someone in there.
This can't be.
This is bad. Oh, that's one way of ending your case. And we got the trophy. The return of the Reaper. Oh boy. What can I say about this case? I'm gonna say that third case syndrome for third cases are usually hit or miss throughout these types of games. There are usually hits and there's usually misses. You got some really good hits. It's from hits, misses, or in between. You got some pretty good hits like Tournament Academy from Dual Destinies. He's somewhat okay case with the Rider tournament. I know some people were mixed with that case. I enjoyed it. It did hit me in the feels at some points. I'm actually one of the few people, and I dare say it, I actually did enjoy Turnabout Serenade for as much as Apollo Justice standards. I was more intrigued with that case, to be honest, than say most of the others. But and Recipe for Turnabout was the case that piqued my interest a little more in Trials and Tribulations. Keep in mind that was it in Case 2 were the only two cases I ever saw of that game back then. But then you have the really bad one. I mean, Turnabout Big Top is really arguably one of the worst. Turnabout Samurai is definitely considered as it. But to be honest, where I think this case is it's really hard to determine because the case because I really would not know how to point out Mr. McGill there. To be honest, the case this case had a lot of interesting points, but because we don't have much ongoing for it, we don't know what really happened. To be honest, I do have a feeling we might have come to it later. But right now, there's nothing really much I can say at the moment. Tomorrow, we go to we start case 4, the Adventure of the Clouded Koro. I think that's how you pronounce it. And then we got the unexpected story, unspeakable story afterwards, which is the final case for this part of the game. Because we still got one other case. We still got another. Because after that, we still got one. Because we still have Resolve after this. Yes. But that said, tomorrow we'll start case 4. With that said, I'm Gunnos 3. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. See you next time.